Under call handling violation of customer relation, number 1, tone of voice that may be interpreted by the client as sarcasm or irritation on the part of collector. This violation refers to the tone of voice during rebuttals. Madalas kasi, dahil sa malakas ng boses ng mga ahente, pinagkakamalan sila na galit and na-interpret yun na parang hindi maganda on the part of cardholder. Kung minsan naman, sa sobrang hina ng boses, pakiramdam ng mga kausap natin, cardholder man yan or subscriber, hindi focus yung ginagawa mo, hindi ka focus sa ginagawa mo. And yun nga yung minsan nagiging cause na nagagalit sila, hindi ka nila pinapansin, and so on. Okay? Next, lack of acknowledgement and empathizing leading to client feeling unappreciated. This violation committed oftentimes after asking the RFD or reason for delinquency. Minsan, sobrang haba na binibigay na RFD or reason for delinquency ng mga kausap nila, wala man lang response na makukuha from agent. Wala man lang empathy na binibigay. Kadalasan, ito yung nagiging dahilan kung bakit yung mga kausap nila o yung mga cardholder man yan or subscriber hindi na sumasagot after ng usapan nila. Next, choice of words that could provoke the clients to be irate. Example, utang. Instead of using utang, we might use or we can use actually balance or unsettled amount. Okay? Meron pa, pantapal. Instead of using that, to cover the past due amount, yan, pwede natin gamitin. To cover up the past due amount. Next, yung bayaran. Instead of using that, mas maganda siguro kung gamitin natin yung settle your payment. Okay? So guys, think before you speak.
Hi guys, I will discuss under call handling violation of customer relations. First is blaming the client on mispayment, imparting sense of doubt. This is referring to call handling violation. For example, bakit hindi kasi kayo nagbayad ng mas maaga kung ayaw nyo matawagan? Other example is, nakapag out of town kung kayo pero yung balance nyo hindi pa rin bayad. So instead of violate these offenses, agent must know the reason for delinquency of the client. So kailangan malaman natin kung ano ba talaga ang dahilan kung bakit di sila kaagad nakapag-settle para maiwasan natin ma-blame or i-blame si client. Next is, failure to satisfy customer due to an inability to give accurate information. It is also referring to call handling violation. For example, may tinatanong sa client na kaya naman nating masagot through our system pero advice mo lang na tumawag na lang ng customer service. So instead na patawagin na kaagad natin ng customer service si kliyente, since fully utilized naman tayo sa system natin, kailangan masagot natin lahat ng concern ni client na kailangan alam din natin gamitin yung mga web tools na ginagamit natin. Third is, not probing the customer for info or not researching the account for information. This is also referring to call handling violation. For example, nag-claim paid si client, tapos hindi mo na-check na may iba pa palang account si kliyente. So, iba pala yung nabayaran niya. So, kailangan fully utilize tayo sa system na ginagamit natin para hindi tayo magkamali sa mga information sa ating mga client. So, guys, don't forget to follow to avoid call handling violation.
Additional, under procedural knowledge, which is tabling, for example, restroom break or etc. So, pag mag-break ka, make sure you use proper aux. For example, naka-dialer tapos bigla kang mag-break, bawal yon. So, you need to take the call first before you use proper aux or bago ka mag-break. Okay?
Under negligence minor, under this is improper documentation. Documentation should always be aligned with recording. So meaning, kung meron tayong call-outs, meron din tayong tagging with our system like CSS. So kung mayroong recordings, supposedly dapat align yan. Okay? Next one is invalid tagging of facilities credit without complete arrangement. So meaning, may nakausap tayo and then you advise to settle but definitely wala naman talagang payment arrangement, walang amount kung magkano yung babayaran, or walang details ng mga payment arrangement natin. So it's a big no-no. Then, second is left message, PTP data, and authorized third party. So, left message, meaning ito yung para sa mga third party natin. No? So, kung hindi naman talaga si client yung nakausap natin, so hindi dapat tayo nagtatag as PTP or nag-status as PTP. Okay? So, kung ano yung conversation, yun dapat yung tagging natin for the improper documentation. Okay? Next one is an authorized manual pull out of account. Manual pull-out of accounts that are not yet loaded in our system for call-outs and beyond the following policy or process. Okay? So, ito yung mga hindi pa allowed na tawagan pero pinupull out na natin, like yung mga for callback natin na PTP or for re-PTP natin. Pero pwede naman yung once allowed or nag-approve si team leader or si APL. Okay? So, bawal tayo mag-manual pull-out. Although, siguro ngayon hindi na rin naman natin ito masyadong makukommit. It's because of the dialogue. Okay? Next is hoarding of accounts. All contacts of accounts that were self-assigned should be exhausted before moving to the next account. So meaning, kailangan muna natin i-attempt tawagan bago tayo mag-move forward dun sa another account or mag-self-assign ulit. So lahat i-exhaust muna natin yung mga contacts and tawagan muna natin bago tayo ulit mag-self-assign.
Go.
Okay, so para maiwasan natin makomit itong negligence minor, dapat kung ano yung napag-usapan, yun lang yung dapat natin itatag. Wala nang iba. Okay, thank you.
We're here to discuss about negligence major. So first, no action taken. Did not notify team leader or forward, endorse concern for reversal, statement of account discount, dispute, fraud, and the like. So, situation happens like if the client has an escalation regarding her or his concern and we did not take notice or address the concern properly or escalated to the proper person para mabigyan siya ng tamang escalation. So, para hindi ma-feel ng client na na-take for granted siya, kailangan ma-escalate nating mabuti sa team leader para mabigyan siya ng proper action. Then next is unauthorized sending of SMS external communication. Sending of SMS or any unauthorized external communication without the approval from the client. SMT using unauthorized number outside the promo text or parameter and the like. So we're not allowed to use our personal mobile phone to send unapproved template to clients. Main thing because it will cause as a valid complaint. So we only allowed to send text messages which are approved by the client. Then next is giving wrong information. So in giving wrong information, we should only give accurate information about the product. Don't give false hope to the client and always tell them that their request will always be subject for approval or their dispute will always be subject for investigation. And to summarize our discussion, we should follow the proper call procedure and to avoid valid complaints, we should be mindful enough for actions.
This one is under operations decorum, meaning display of an acceptable behavior or remarks during operations. For example, using of foul words during calls. Since sensitive yung headset natin, so possible na marinig ng client yung mga unnecessary words or side comments na hindi dapat marinig. This is possible for valid complaints, that's why agent is not allowed on operations during break time. Okay, so tip lang guys, if ever na engage yung katabi natin in other line, much better to keep quiet. Another thing is during your break time, avoid natin yung pagpunta sa close. Okay guys, so good day. Right now, discuss ko lang sa inyo yung under ng client requirements. So this is violation of specific client requirements, memo, and other act of willful disobedience. Meaning, we needed to follow the proper call flow. Number 1, opening skill. Greetings and salutations. Example, hi ma'am, hi sir, good morning, good afternoon. Number 2, mastery of information. Appropriate choice of words, like for example, excessive using of ma'am, sir, sounded and unprofessional. We can use surname to address the customer properly. Number 3, closing spiel. Always ask questions before ending the call. Example, other contact number of the subscriber. Some of the client had other contact number and this is for us to have an option to call the right client. So tip ko lang sa inyo guys, to create a quality call, we needed to follow the proper call flow. Thank you.
Okay, under personal phone call, we have two kinds of personal phone call. One is personal phone calls extension to extension, and second is personal phone calls outgoing or outside. Okay, for personal phone calls extension, making personal call during operation hours and other activities that constitutes as personal that disrupt productivity and hampers company operation. Example, tatawag tayo extension from our extension using our system and then to another extension which is non-work related siya na nakakahamper ng productivity, yun yung magpo-fall dito sa personal phone call. Second, personal phone calls outside or outgoing, ito yung gagamitin natin yung system natin para tumawag outside for personal purposes. So, bawal din po yun. Okay? Okay, for personal phone calls outside or outgoing, meron tong telco expenses. So, 1 minute to 10 minutes, equivalent to 100 pesos. And then, 11 minutes to 20 minutes, equivalent to 200 pesos. And 21 minutes to 30 minutes, equivalent to 300 pesos. So, better, using our own phone, our phone or our mobile, gamitin na lang natin to during lunch break or break time. Okay, para maiwasan natin yung telco expenses.
No misrepresentation. When you say no misrepresentation, do not use aliases. Like for example, hindi tayo pwedeng magpanggap bilang isang police or bilang isang lawyer.
When we say disclosure, we are not allowed to disclose any information unless they are authorized.
Good day. We're here to discuss unreasonable time of contact. So, under BSP 454, we're only allowed to call from 6 a.m. until 10 p.m. But since our shift usually starts at 8 a.m. and ends at 5 p.m., so we're only allowed to call on that time frame. Then beyond that, hindi na tayo allowed to ma'am, not unless we are paid to call. So that's it. Thank you.